Now, if you've been watching the Fast Lane Car, you know that yesterday we reviewed the Range Rover Sport. The day before, the brand new Infiniti QX80, still a mouthful. And Nathan, what do we got here today?
We have the Toyota Highlander. It's the current model.
And that, of course, competes with the Durango, which is next to you in the ultimate mega mashup.
That's right, 3 rows of destiny.
Mega mashup. Coming up next on the Fast Lane Car.
3 rows of destiny.
All right, guys, take a picture because it'll last longer. And I'm saying that because this particular model, the 2013, is about to go away and the new 2014 is coming. Now, the 2013 in my mind is very, well, stodgy would be one word that comes to mind, but I think traditional, conservative, and not groundbreaking would be another way to describe it.
Buried deep inside of this engine compartment is a 3.5 liter V6. It puts out 270 horsepower and 248 pound-feet of torque, and unfortunately it's hooked up to just a 5-speed automatic transmission.
How much is the tow, Nathan?
5,000 pounds.
5-speed, huh?
5-speed.
You know, the next generation is going to have a 6-speed.
6?
Yeah.
Wow, wow. I mean, don't the other vehicles here have like 7 and 8 speed? Yeah. Well, you know what though? Toyota may be a little bit slow in updating, but they certainly build a quality engine because this is a great, great power plant.
Yeah, and I feel bad. I called it stodgy. I think conservative is a better word.
Oh yeah, I call you stodgy. How about that? Huh?
Fair enough.
Yeah. You know what? At least it lets me rev up to past 6,000 RPM. It just doesn't sound like a lot.
We are in the Toyota Highlander. Highlander, my man.
Haggis!
Aye. There's a bit of Scottish in all of us. That sounds Irish, doesn't it?
I don't know the difference. I'm really bad at that.
I don't think they care about our so-called
they do.
accents.
Dear jerks over at TFLcar.com, I hate your haggis impersonation.
All right, you know, we called this very fuel efficient, but let's be honest, it's got the same MPG combined as the Durango.
And the Durango has more power, and the Durango feels sportier. But around town, I've driven these, and it's such an easy car to drive. I mean, it's really a very good mom and dad car if you don't care about driving dynamics. You've probably heard people say Lexus-like when they've been describing certain Toyotas. And in this particular case, I would use that, except for some of the plastics in here are kind of cheap. And frankly, there is a little bit of an issue with the seats. You see, if you go around a corner faster than, say, 20 miles per hour, your butt's going to start sliding because there's no real bolsters. So it's very comfortable on a highway stretch, but when you're going around corners, not so much.
Nathan just called this Lexus-like. I'm going to call it Lexus Light. Think of it as a tall Camry with a little bit more room, but that's not saying much because there isn't a huge amount of space in this. Today, all these vehicles are getting bigger and bigger, and this feels like it was designed a generation ago. So yeah, it's a little bit tight. I do fit in here, my legs fit, my head fits, but it feels claustrophobic, and I wouldn't want to spend a lot of time because this thing is a sea of black. You know, I called it a tall Camry. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It you know, it's perfectly fine. It is more of an appliance than of a, you know, a passionate thoroughbred. But it's not supposed to be a passionate thoroughbred. So talking about kind of steering feel is silly because there isn't much.
No.
Talking about road feel, same thing. There isn't much.
Very, very smooth ride, though. You got to admit.
Yeah, it does have a good ride, and it does do all-wheel drive, so when the snow starts falling or the rain starts coming, you do feel much more secure in this vehicle.
Yeah, it's a secure vehicle too. Off-road, I've tried it once in these, not a good idea. It's just, it doesn't like it. What it likes is snow, rain, a little bit of dirt maybe, that's about it.
Now with the third row down, there's plenty of room in the back here. But what's the fun of stuffing Nathan into a car with plenty of room? Let's put the third row up. Now what does, Nathan, come here. Where does this go?
You roll it up. See, you roll it, and then you throw it in your garage and you forget about it after you bought it. And yeah.
And there's no way you're gonna fit in here.
Oh, there's no way. I mean,
No,
maybe a limb.
Yeah.
It's got useful space for the kids in the back, but it's, once again, it's tight for kids.
It feels like an afterthought.
Well, yeah, you know, kind of.
In general, these are very good cars, and everything here is logically laid out. Big, easy to use knobs, so if you do have mittens or gloves, easy big buttons. I mean, it's all very user friendly. It's the kind of car that my mom would feel comfortable driving.
In fact, parents, if you want your son or daughter to make sure that they don't get pregnant, or I probably shouldn't say that in this, huh? No, because the seats go down. Never mind. Scratch that.
So overall, not a lot of driving feel, but certainly a very competent, good all-around city car.
Yeah, exactly.
And, or if you want to go on vacation with it as well.
Yeah, actually a really good road trip car.
All right, here we go. And there's 40, and here comes 60 right there. Oh, look at that. I'll be darned. That's interesting. 9.46. Now, if we were to extrapolate that to sea level, it'd be about 8.46. So it's less gears, but nice and revvy engine, a lot of power. Doesn't sound terrific, but you know what? For a big 7-passenger vehicle, it could be a lot slower.
Roman, on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, what do you give the Toyota Highlander?
A grudging lease it, and that's because I think it's a great vehicle if you're a family person, but it's boring to drive.
Okay, fair enough. And I'm going to give it a lease it, partly because it's about to be replaced. I think it's a fantastic vehicle for what it is. I mean, look, it's a mommy and daddy wagon, right?
That's right. And speaking of mommy and daddy wagons, Nathan, what's next to you?
This is a Dodge Durango, but this ain't no mommy and daddy wagon. This is a daddy wagon.
And that is coming up tomorrow on the Fast Lane Car. As always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
Thanks for watching. Remember, Dodge Durango coming up tomorrow. Ciao.
Haggis!